It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the San Diego Padres. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday evening to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers and Padres in their 15th meeting of the year. Dodgers have won 9 of the previous 14. And tonight, Aaron Harang going to the mound in quest of his 10th win. He's 1-1 against his old team, 4-5 lifetime. On the mound for San Diego, left-hander Clayton Richard, 12-12, 2-1 against the Dodgers this year, 6-2 lifetime. He has the same number of victories, number 6, as he has against the San Francisco Giants. And as you know, the Giants will be the Dodgers' next stop starting Friday night when Josh Beckett will go up against Tim Lincecum. The Dodgers 4.5 games back, still trying to get closer, and they're also still very much alive in the wild card race. We'll have all of that, the ball game, and a whole lot more coming up right after this.
And the Dodgers. And out here in center field alongside Steve Lyons. And you know what? There's been a couple of real close games, back-to-back 11-inning games. 3 of the last 5 have gone 11. The last 5 games have been one-run games. And Steve, I tell you, as much as I'd like to see a blowout win for the Dodgers every once in a while, something tells me with this playoff race getting tight, we're going to see more games like this.
I'd like to see some blowout wins, too. I'll tell you, the 11-inning games are games that really tax your pitching staff. You have to use way more guys than you want to. This is a playoff atmosphere now. It has to be, and these guys have to treat almost every game like it's a playoff game in order to get into the playoffs. I like teams that have to play playoff games before they get into the playoffs. That keeps you ready, keeps you playing your best baseball down the stretch. So I think we're going to see that. But tonight, 8-2. That's what I want to see.
Somebody call them their shot right here. Like to see that, and we will be here for Dodgers Live post-game show. Again, the Dodgers can pick up a half game, a full game actually on the Cardinals who lost today, and we'll keep track of what's going on with the San Francisco Giants playing Arizona. When we come back, first pitch, Vince Scully has the call. We'll see you after the game. Enjoy it.
Dodger Baseball is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Get the All-American Jack Combo for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. By San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. Play $250,000 Sports Watch football at San Manuel. It's free to play. And by Resident Evil Retribution in 3D in theaters September 14th. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday evening to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers and Padres finishing up their series, and the Dodgers finishing up a 6-game homestand. When the Dodgers take the field, they are still 4.5 game back of the Giants. Talking about the Giants, their game will start a little bit later than ours. Trevor Cahill 9-11 against Madison Bumgarner. Cahill went the entire month of August without a victory, and Bumgarner has lost his last 2 since beating the Dodgers here. Meanwhile, we'll be watching Bud Black's crew for sure. The Padres have won 5 of the previous 14. Bud's lineup reads this way: Everett Cabrera at shortstop, Will Venable in right field, Chase Headley at third base. Carlos Quinton in left field, hitting cleanup, Yasmani Grandal behind the plate. Yonder Alonso will be at first base, Logan Forsythe at second base, Cameron Maben in center field, and on the mound, Clayton Richards. On the mound for the Dodgers, a 34-year-old right-hander, Aaron Harang. Last year he was with San Diego and was 14-7. His best year in the big leagues, he'd go back about 6 years when he was with Cincinnati, and he won 16. Last time out didn't factor in the decision against the D-backs, allowed 3 runs in 5 innings. Dodgers eventually lost that game in 11 innings. Against San Diego, he is 1-1, and in his career, 4-5. In his last 5 starts, beginning the month of August, he is 2-2. So Aaron Harang will be pitching to Everett Cabrera, then Will Venable, and then Chase Headley. Cabrera, switch hitting shortstop, batting .232, 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in. If he gets on base, he is a problem. He has stolen 26 out of 27, and because of his speed, he is always a threat to bunt. All you have to do is look at Luis Cruz, who's already 15 feet inside on the grass when Cabrera checks in. Harang's first pitch is in for a strike, and the count 0-1. For Cabrera at 5'8", turns in a great job at shortstop. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way. He takes a breaking ball low and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. The temperature at game time is a very comfortable 77 degrees. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Harang studying signs flashed out by A.J. Ellis. Cruz still in on the grass, and the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. A lot of folks came to the ballpark tonight, I'm sure, looking up at the skies anxiously. There have been reports it rained hard in Whittier and in other areas, just a few drops. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming up, and that's high. You might be interested to know, in case the subject comes up in conversation, the Dodgers, since 1962 when Dodger Stadium opened, have been rained out 17 times. 2-2 pitch fouled away. However, the last rain out was in April of 2000. That means we have gone 1,040 games without a rain out. And interesting, of the 17 rainouts, 6 of them have involved the San Diego Padres, including an entire 3-game series in 1988. Ground ball through the hole into left field, so a rabbit is loose. Cabrera will try to make life miserable for Aaron Harang with a single to left. Setting the Dodgers defensively, Victorino, Kemp, and Deepier in the outfield. The infield of Cruz, Ramirez, Ellis, and Gonzalez. Behind the plate, A.J. Ellis, Aaron Harang on the mound. So Cabrera at first, and remember, he's stolen 26 out of 27. So it's almost, if you walk him or he gets a base hit, it's been a double. So Harang out of a set position, looks over his left shoulder, comes to the plate high. 1 ball and no strikes to Will Venable. Venable, left-hand hitting outfielder, hitting .261, 9 home runs, 37 runs batted in. For the last 2 weeks, he's hit .420, so a very hot hitter. Venable appeared as a pinch hitter last night, grounded out, then stayed in the game and was walked intentionally. Harang keeping such an eye on Cabrera that time is called at the plate. One ball and no strikes. Venable with Chase Headley on deck. Harang hands together at the belt, still looking at Cabrera. Now comes to the plate and drops the breaking ball in for a strike, and the count 1-1. Well, you just figure the problem to be a major league pitcher. You have a runner, you're trying to hold him on. You have a good hitter at the plate, and with all of that, you're still trying to throw strikes. Cabrera does not have a big lead, but with his speed, he doesn't need a big lead. Harang watching, still watching, now delivers, and the pitch is low and inside, ball 2. 2-1 the count. Padres are a running ball club. We talked about that when they first arrived. They have 123 stolen bases. The last we checked, the Miami Marlins had 128. 2-1 the count to Will Venable. Harang ready and deals, and this one is off the plate, and he is obviously pitching with one eye on the hitter and one eye on Cabrera. The percentage of success against Harang is 66%. 118 stolen bases and 60 caught. 3-1. We'll see if they run him on a run and hit play. Venable waiting. Harang set. Cabrera poised. There he goes. The pitch is low. The throw is a little high and late. No real indication at second base by Ron Copa because it turned out to be ball 4. So with Cabrera sliding in, it was too late anyway. So Venable walks. Cabrera's at second and Harang in trouble. First and second, nobody out, and Chase Headley the batter. Chase Headley with a 7-game hitting streak, hitting .284, 24 home runs, 93 runs batted in. So the big hitter, the RBI man, the butter and egg man for San Diego, has a chance to deliver. Harang out of a stretch, ready and deals, and the first pitch is high, ball 1. 1-0. So a shaky way to begin, single and a walk, and he was so concerned about Cabrera that certainly caused the walk. 1 ball and no strikes the count to Chase Headley. Harang set again, looks back at second, and the 1-0 pitch drops it in nicely. 1-1 the count. They're looking at Aaron Harang working against Chase Headley. Headley is 4 for 12 with a home run. So that would be .333. And on deck, Carlos Quinton. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Harang set and delivers off speed and high, ball 2. Chase Headley is a switch hitter, but he is a much bigger threat batting left-handed. 16 of the 24 home runs, 56 of the 93 RBIs, and a .294 average hitting left-handed. 2-1 the count. Harang ready, here he comes, and he is in there. It was a borderline pitch, and Headley takes a walk away from the plate. Jim Wolf, the brother of Randy Wolf, big league pitcher. Jim behind the plate. 2-2 the count. Headley trying to extend a 7-game hitting streak. Harang ready. Another look at the runners. And the 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled at the plate. So Headley is still there. The speed out there on the lines. We talked about the fact that Cabrera has stolen 26 out of 27. Will Venable is no slouch. He has stolen 20. So you have 46 stolen bases out there. First and second, first inning, nobody out. 2-2 to Chase Headley. Harang ready. Here he comes. Fastball hit to center and deep. Back goes Kemp, watching this one go at the base of the wall. 2 runners almost stride for stride. throw to the plate way wide. The run will score. It gets away from the plate. So in comes Venable, and all the way to third goes Chase Headley. And it's 2-0 San Diego. So on a long fly ball to center, Matt Kemp did not have a play. Tried to play it off the base of the wall. And when you looked up, you had almost shoulder to shoulder Cabrera and Venable, one running right behind the other. They held up because thought maybe Matt could catch it, but he gave every indication he had no chance. So here they come. First it was Cabrera, the throw way wide of the plate by Hanley Ramirez. Seeing that, Matt Cabrera would score, and when the ball got away to the backstop, Venable came around to score as well. So it's a double, an RBI, an error for Hanley Ramirez. It's 2-0 San Diego, and Headley is at third base, nobody out. First pitch to Carlos Quentin, swung on and missed, 0-1. So for the Dodgers, a disastrous way to start the first inning, especially for a team that has struggled trying to score. So 2 runs are in, a runner at third. The strike one pitch is high. 1-1 the count to Carlos Quentin. Carlos Quentin is 1 for 3 against Harang. That's a home run. Quentin has 15 home runs, 43 runs batted in. The 1-1 pitch coming up. Harang delivers, fastball, swung on and missed, down and away. Chasing it was Quentin. So Carlos takes a long walk away from home plate to think about something. His last 37 hits, 20 of them have been for extra bases. So Headley, who has the double and RBIs, now has hit safely in 8 straight. Nobody out, 2 runs in for the Padres. Padres have won 5 of the previous 14. Harang ready, looks at Headley, now comes to the plate. Quentin takes low and away. A reminder with a runner at third, the fact that Aaron Harang has 3 wild pitches. So Headley doubled Cabrera home. That sent Venable to third, and then Venable came home on the throwing error, charged to Hanley Ramirez. 2-2 is a ground ball to third, almost picked off as Headley has to dive back to the bag, and the out's recorded at first. So Quentin grounds to third, 1 out, and Yasmani Grandal coming up. Yasmani Grandal, the right-hand hitting catcher, he is a switch hitter, so he'll turn around a bit left-handed. Last night, he had a single, a walk, and a 2-run home run. So Grandal hitting left-handed, batting .276. Infield is back as Headley comes down the line from third, and the pitch, a little low, ball 1, 1-0. Grandal hitting .316, right-handed. .259 left. 3 of his 7 home runs hit left-handed as he tries to pick up Headley from third. The 1-0 pitch on the way. That's in for a strike. 1-1. One other thing, Grandal has 1 sacrifice fly. 2-0 Padres first inning. They haven't started yet up north. Trevor Cahill and Madison Bumgarner. 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, little dribbler up along first base. The run will score. The throw is behind Harang and safely aboard, although I think he would have beaten it anyway, is Grandal. It is 3-0 San Diego. So on the dribbler, Aaron Harang couldn't pick it up, and the feed was behind him as he went towards first base to cover. And the throw, no chance for Harang to get a glove on it. So it'll just be a base hit up along first. Scoring is Headley from third. 3-0 San Diego, and for Grandal, he gets a squib single and a run batted in. So Aaron Harang off to a wobbly start, and here's Yonder Alonso. Aaron trying to get out of it. 1 out, 3 runs in. Alonso, left-hand hitting first baseman. He takes low, ball 1. The D-backs and the Giants are now underway. Trevor Cahill, Madison Bumgarner. Alonso with 33 doubles along with his 7 home runs, 47 runs batted in. And the 1-0 pitch on the way. Alonso looks and takes it off the plate. Ball 2. 2-0. This shuts down the homestand tonight. The Dodgers tomorrow will fly up to San Francisco. Don Mattingly will have Josh Beckett going against Tim Lincecum. Saturday, Chris Capuano and Matt Cain. And then Sunday, Clayton Kershaw and Barry Zito. Dodgers then will go to Arizona for 2, come back for a 4-game series with the Cardinals. That would start on the 13th of September. So the Dodgers having to kick themselves tonight. They're down 3-0 in the first inning. A rather very disappointing way to start. You may remember last night, Chris Denorfia on the very first pitch hit a home run. And then in the bottom of the first, Mark Ellis was at third and was picked off. So that was a pretty wobbly way to begin. This might be considered worse. 3-0 San Diego. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way. Alonso slices this one down the left field line, foul. And the count 2-1. Yonder Alonso, over a stretch of a little more than a month, hitting .315. Struggling, however, on the road trip, 2 for 16 and 1 for 8 in this series. 2-1 pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back. 2-2 the count. So Yonder Alonso up there with Harang, having already made 29 pitches. Aaron looking for a break and looking for a sign. 2-2 the count. 3-0 Padres, very beginning of the game. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way. Harang deals high and inside, ball 3. Well, up north, the Diamondbacks got a run. Miguel Montero singled it in. He's the best hitting catcher in the big leagues, or certainly in the National League with runs batted in. 3-2 the count with 1 out. Grandal at first. He's going, then stops, and the ball hit in the air to Victorino. Shane makes the catch, and Grandal stops and goes back to first. So Alonso lines out to left, 2 down, and Logan Forsythe coming up. Logan Forsythe with an 8-game hitting streak. Cameron Maben has hit safely in 6. Headley, who doubled, has hit in 8 straight. It's a career best 8-game streak for Forsythe. Headley's had longer. Harang out of a stretch, over the top, and the first pitch in for a strike. 0-1. So Logan Forsythe trying to add to the confusion here. He had a base hit last night in the 11th inning to help to win the game. Grandal at first, 2 out. Forsythe takes high, 1 ball and 1 strike. If you go over a period of about 20 games, Forsythe during that stretch hitting about .350. Right-hand batter, and the 1-1 pitch swung on, lifted to right center, slicing towards Ethier, and he'll put it away. However, the Padres put 3 away as Headley's double cashed in 1, another on an error, and yet another on a base hit. 3-0 San Diego. To see if it's capable to score more than 3. Mark Ellis at second base and Shane Victorino in left field. Adrian Gonzalez at first base and Matt Kemp hits cleanup in center. Hanley Ramirez at short, Andre Ethier in right field, Luis Cruz at third base, A.J. Ellis behind the plate, and Aaron Harang on the mound. On the mound for San Diego, Clayton Richard out of Lafayette, Indiana, went to the University of Michigan and was originally signed by the Chicago White Sox. He has been punished a bit by infield hits. He's had 25 infield hits. Meanwhile, he's allowed 24 home runs to right-handed hitters and 17 on the road. So we'll see about Clayton Richard with a break-even 12-12, 2-1 against the Dodgers, 6-2 lifetime, and his first pitch inside to Mark Ellis. 1 ball and no strike. Mark hitting .269, 5 home runs, 28 runs batted in, fastball strike, 1-1. Richard is big. He's 6'5", a good .225, 29 years old, and a fastball hit to left field and deep. Back goes Quinton to the top of the wall and makes the catch. Mark Ellis losing an extra base hit. It wasn't going to go over the wall, but it sure could have hit the wall. But there was the glove of Carlos Quinton, and there's an out. Quinton making it right by the window of the Dodger bullpen, and we have 1 down. So a fly ball deep to left that points up the fact again that Richard has been punished. He's allowed 25 home runs. Quinton saved him from an extra base hit. Richard ready now, and the pitch to Shane Victorino way outside, ball 1, 1-0. Victorino hitting .255, 10 home runs and 50 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch on the way, a strike, and that evens it up. 1 ball and 1 strike. In looking at the Dodgers' work against Clayton Richard, Matt Kemp has 2 home runs against him, hitting .385. Meanwhile, Victorino, a ground ball base hit up the middle. So 1 out, single by Victorino, and the batter will be Adrian Gonzalez. Adrian Gonzalez is 3-for-3 against Clayton Richard. And then, as we said, Matt Kemp on deck with 2 home runs against him. So the Dodgers trying to get off the floor, down 3-0 in the first inning and trying to come back. Gonzalez hitting .239, a home run and 9 runs batted in. Richard's fastball is inside, ball 1, 1-0 the count. Clayton Richard in high school quarterbacked his team and got a scholarship to Michigan. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Clayton delivers, fastball just off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. When he was battling for the quarterback role at Michigan, he was battling Chad Henne and decided to stick to baseball, and it's really paid out. The 2-0 pitch is swung on and fouled away. 2-1. Well, we talked about Aaron Harang and the fact that the success ratio of stealing bases 66%. Richard 61%. However, Clayton Richard has a combined pickoff in his career 41. The left-hander said, looks over at Victorino and comes to the plate. It's swung on and missed, 2-2. Shane Victorino has stolen 32 out of 38. So the Dodgers have a rabbit of their own over there at first. Clayton set at the belt, and the left-hander ready. 2-2 pitch coming up to Adrian Gonzalez, and it is swung on and missed. So Gonzalez strikes out, 2 down, and the batter Matt Kemp. Breaking ball got Adrian. Matt Kemp, as we said, has 2 home runs against Clayton Richard. By the way, Richard this year his best month is certainly August. He struggled in April and May, got above 500 in June, under 500 in July, and then in August he was 5-1. Left-hander set, looks at Victorino. The pitch to Matt Kemp, ground ball to the right side. They will get an easy out at first. So the Dodgers get a base hit and nothing else. And at the end of an inning, 3-0 San Diego. Up starting on the 13th against the St. Louis Cardinals, Prime Ticket is happy to announce a special 50-hour ticket sale starting now for the 3 weekend games in the series. You can purchase $9 tickets in the reserve, lower reserve, or top deck sections. The offer is only available until this Friday at 9 p.m. Pacific and is subject to ticket availability. Also to purchase, visit Dodgers.com/special offer. So a good deal for a big series. St. Louis starting on the 13th. 1 ball and no strikes to Cameron Maybin, who swings at a bad ball. 1-1 the count. Cameron has a 6-game hitting streak, but he turned out pretty much to be the outman until the 11th inning last night when he led off with a single. The 1-1 pitch is a little low, ball 2, 2-1 to Maybin, hitting .240, 6 home runs, 39 runs batted in, and as you can imagine, center fielder at Petco covers a lot of ground. Punches one on the ground to Mark Ellis, and Ellis throws him out easily. So we have 1 out in the 2nd inning, and Clayton Richard coming up.
Pitcher number 33, Clayton Richard.
Clayton Richard hitting less than 100. 082 to be exact, but he does have 5 hits, and they have to be careful with him. 6 runs batted in. So the left-hand hitter waiting, swings, doesn't get the first one, and they count 0-1. 1 away. We're only in the top of the 2nd inning, and the Padres lead 3-0. The strike 1 pitch is taken a little low. When you think about it, however, it is no shock that the Dodgers are having trouble and are behind after a 3-run first inning. That's been the story for over 3 weeks. The next pitch is away, 2-1 the count. Last 20 games, the Dodgers have been outscored 24-7 in the first inning. The opponents have scored in 12 of those 20 games in the first inning. So 3-0 in favor of San Diego. Aaron Harang, who won 14 games last year for the Padres, now trying to get his former teammates out. He is 4-5 lifetime, 1-1 with them this year. Next pitch, foul back. You remember Aaron Harang earlier in the year struck out 13 Padres, including 9 in a row. Right now, Richard waiting, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aaron staring in, now turns ready, and the right-hander's breaking ball stays up. Ball 3. Over the last 8 years, Harang, you might be surprised to know, would be 3rd among the top strikeout pitchers as Richard fouls it away. He'd be behind Roy Oswalt and Carlos Zambrano. Meanwhile, Clayton Richard hanging tough, 3-2. 1 out, 2nd inning. 3-0 San Diego. Harang rocks ready, comes over the top, and it's swung on and missed. Big breaking ball down and in. So Richard strikes out. First strikeout for Harang. And the batter now will be Everett Cabrera. Cabrera opened up the game with a single, and that's another thing about a player like Cabrera. When you run as well as he does, you are a major distraction. And he had a lot to do with the walk to Will Venable. Meanwhile, that took 8 pitches out of Harang's arm to get Richard. Cabrera shows bunt. Ball 1. Little shortstop can run, and Cruz plays well in on the grass. 1 ball and no strikes to Everett Cabrera. Harang comes back, and this one is taken in for a strike. Cabrera hitting .234, 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in. And there's one dragged by the mound, charging Ellis, no chance. So Cabrera, who had a ground ball single to left, just does what he does so well. And even though Harang's not bad, Cabrera just drags it right by him, keeps on going, and beats Ellis. No surprise there. So Cabrera 2 for 2. That would be his 7th bunt single. And Will Venable, who walked in the first inning, coming up again. And once more, Cabrera will be a major distraction. Harang staring in. Cabrera hands on his knees as he takes his lead. Harang very deliberate and backs off the rubber. So Will Venable, whose dad Max played for many years in the big leagues. Venable hitting .261 from Green Bay, California. Lives over in Phoenix. Throw to first, Cabrera diving back to the bag. Will Venable is an Ivy Leaguer. Went to school at Princeton. His dad not only played 12 years in the major leagues, he also played for a couple of years in Japan. Venable has a look at a strike. 0-1 the count. Will actually was in Japan when he went to school in the 3rd and 4th grades. Will drafted by the Padres 7 years ago in the 7th round. 3-0 Padres, 2nd inning. 0-1 foul back. 0-2. Venable usually gets the job done one way or another without a lot of pitching. He averages a little more than 3.5. Chase Headley, who had the double, is on deck. 0-2 the count to Will Venable. Harang really watching Cabrera, who backs to the bag. Still 0-2. Cabrera took off on a 3-2 pitch in the 2nd inning. It was ball 4, but Cabrera would have beaten the play on a straight steal. So they know it. Everett inching off. Strike 2 pitch coming up. Harang delivers a pitch out, no action. So Mattingly ordering the pitch out, and Cabrera not going. Cabrera with 2 hits tonight now has 19 multi-hit games this year. In his rookie year 3 years ago, he had 24. The next one is high. What he's doing is going off the bag and going maybe 20 feet at least, and then coming back. So Cabrera really a nuisance out there at first base. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Venable waiting. Harang set. Looking. There goes Cabrera. And the pitch is swung on and fouled away. So Cabrera will come back 2-2. Don't forget the Dodgers leave town tomorrow. They'll go to San Francisco. Tomorrow night there'll be an off night, and then Friday night Josh Beckett and Tim Lincecum. Saturday afternoon Chris Capuano and Matt Cain. And Sunday at 5 it'll be Clayton Kershaw and Barry Zito. Ted Lilly right alongside of Clayton. They locker side by side. 2-2. Cabrera's not going, and it's fouled away. 2-2 the count. Dodgers made an announcement today about Chad Billingsley. Very simply, they said they have put him on the 60-day DL, which of course finishes the year for Chad. Now the big question is, will Chad Billingsley need surgery? From what we understand, Chris Capuano has been talking to Billingsley, explaining the process. After all, Chris has had the Tommy John surgery twice. And that's not saying that Billingsley needs the Tommy John surgery. We'll leave that up to the medical department, but it has certainly become a major subject of conversation. 2-2 the count to Venable. Cabrera still hasn't tried to go. Harang is set, looks over his left shoulder at Cabrera. Now the right-hander delivers. Cabrera goes, and it's fouled away. So Richard had an 8-pitch at bat before he struck out, and Venable now is making him work. 7 pitches so far to Will Venable. And remember, Harang made 34 pitches in the first inning. So his pitch count, he's already made 56. 2-2 to Venable. Harang set. Cabrera leads. Cabrera does not go on ball 3 that almost hit Will Venable on the leg. So with 2 out, we know that Cabrera is going for sure. Adrian Gonzalez hollers over to Harang that he's not going to hold him. So Gonzalez off the bag. Cabrera ready to do some running. He's already scored from first base in the first inning. Cabrera goes, and the pitch is swung on to the hole as the ground ball and through. So Cabrera, who was going, goes all the way to third. So Will Venable, a ground ball single into right field. Cabrera advancing to third. 2 out, and Chase Headley coming up. So Harang is really battling it. 3 runs and 5 hits in an inning and 2/3. Harang in his last game allowed 3 runs and 5 hits in 5 innings in a game the Dodgers eventually lost to Arizona 4-3 on Jason Kubel's home run. So Cabrera at third, Venable at first, and the batter is Headley. 2 out. Harang ready and delivers, and Headley takes low, ball 1. Well, you wonder whether they would run Venable, or would they rather have Chase Headley make sure he has an at-bat. Headley has hit in 8 straight, doubled in the first inning, batting .285. Harang out of his stretch, looks over at Venable, back to Headley. That's in for a strike, and the count 1-1. Chase Headley came up with his 25th double when he hit the ball over Matt Kemp's head. and it hit the base of the center field wall. 1 ball and 1 strike. Harang ready, back he comes, little ground ball to the hole. It's going to be plugged up by Mark Ellis, who throws him out. So no runs, 2 hits, 2 left, and at the end of an inning and a half, Padres 3, Dodgers nothing. Nothing, and a talented left-hander, Clayton Richard, on the mound. He's beaten them twice this year, and he is 6-2 lifetime against the Dodgers. Clayton pitching now to Hanley Ramirez, who bangs one into right field for a base hit. Venable up to get it and gets it back in. So Hanley a leadoff single here in the second. And the batter will be Andre Ethier. Three runs, 5 hits for the Padres. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Andre Ethier trying to get him back into the game. Ethier hitting .292, 17 home runs, 80 runs batted in. If you joined us a little late, Cabrera singled, Venable walked, Headley doubled over Kemp's head. Cabrera scored, Venable went to third. The relay from Ramirez was wide of the plate, and Venable scored, and then a squib single by Yasmani Grandal, and that cashed in Headley. So those are the quick 3 in the first inning. Ethier takes low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Richard ready, the left-hander comes back, and that's banged into center for a base hit. Ramirez to second and holding on. So Ramirez and Ethier back-to-back singles, nobody out, and that'll bring up Luis Cruz. So Richard has allowed 3 hits. Harang has allowed 3 runs. And here's Cruz batting .305, and for better than 3 weeks, hitting almost .390. Luis with 4 home runs, 29 runs batted in. So 2 on, nobody out. Dodgers trying to attack Richard. Luis Cruz Monday, remember, had a 4-hit game. He has hit safely in 6 in a row, and Ramirez and Ethier take their lead. Richard ready, left-handed delivers. It's hit foul down the right field line in the lower deck. 0-1 the count. Luis Cruz, boy, he's become a tough out. He hits the ball hard almost every at bat. 0-1 to the Dodger third baseman. Clayton Richard set at the belt, looks back at Ramirez. Strike one pitch is a shot up the middle by the diving Forsythe. Here comes Ramirez. The throw to the plate, not in time. That makes it 3-1 Padres. Cruz does it again. So 3 straight singles by Ramirez, Ethier, and Cruz, and that'll bring up A.J. Ellis. A diving try by Logan Forsythe, just missed the ball by inches, and that allowed the run to come home, and Luis picks up the run batted in. For Cruz, he now has 30 RBIs. So A.J. Ellis hitting .280, 11 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Coming up with 2 on, nobody out, 3-1 San Diego. Clayton Richard looks down the barrel to get a sign. His earned run average is 3.7, and his first pitch on the outside corner at the knees for a strike. 0-1. So the Dodgers are quiet Matt Kemp, and sitting behind him Ramirez, who brought in the run. Cruz at first, Ethier at second, nobody out. Richard set again, the strike one pitch, that's swung on and fouled at the plate, and the count 0-2. Cameron Maben playing A.J. a little bit towards right center, so the gap is in left center. In right field, Will Venable is up a little bit. Padres 3, Dodgers 1, only in the second inning. Richard, a long look in, now set at the belt. The strike 2 pitch on the way, and that's low, ball 1. 1-2. One of the nightmares for Clayton Richard has been the count of 1-2. It has haunted him. It'll be interesting to see what he does with this one. A.J. Ellis waiting, and the 1-2 pitch, fastball fouled away. A.J. having a little chat, questioning, I'm sure, made sure he swung at a strike. One and two the count. Richard again set together, left-handed delivers, fastball hit in the air to right field, playable. Tagging up at second is Ethier. Cruz at first. Venable's throw into second as Ethier moves over to third. So if nothing else, A.J. Ellis advances a runner. 1 out, first and third, and Aaron Harang, and he'll be listening to words of advice from Tim Wallach. Also, there will be a meeting at the mound. Darren Ballsy going out to talk. In fact, Bud Black is going out, the skipper, instead. And I'm sure they know Harang, and they're thinking about squeeze. With the bunt, he has 5 sacrifices. So we'll see the result of this. But certainly there's the only other thing they would do would be to have it just a straight sacrifice. Keep Harang out of hitting into a double play. Not try to advance Ethier, but try to advance Cruz and leave it up to Mark Ellis. So one way or another, the Padres are certainly looking bunt. Mark Ellis on deck has a home run in the past against Clayton Richard. So looking bunt, we'll see. Harang gets in. Ethier at third, Cruz at first. Richard out of a stretch. Aaron showing bunt. Takes it on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Ethier rarely, if ever, steals a base. You don't expect him to come down on a squeeze, but you certainly expect them to move Cruz. Strike one pitch. Aaron pulls the bat back, and that's low. 1 ball and 1 strike. One thing that Ethier does have going, Chase Headley is charging the plate, so Andre can come down the line with the third baseman. 1-1 the count. Richard out of his stretch, checking the runners. Now to the plate, way outside, ball 2, 2-1. So in the inning, Ramirez singled, Ethier singled, Cruz singled for a run. A.J. Ellis flied to right, advancing Ethier to third. And now the question, can Harang move somebody up? The 2-1 pitch, the bunt is down and foul, and the count 2-2. Padres 3, Dodgers 1. We're only in the second inning. Ethier going back to third, Cruz returning to first, and Richard trying to fight his way out of the inning. Left-hander hiding the ball back of the hip, now ready. Harang shows bunt and bunts it down to Headley, who goes to second for one, back to first, double play. So the Dodgers unable to do what they needed desperately, just to get a sacrifice down, and Harang bunts into the double play, and the Dodgers wind up with 1 run. Good play by Headley to throw accurately, and then they turn it, and it's 3-1 San Diego.
Brought to you by Miller Lite. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
Padres lead 3-1 as we go to the third inning. Aaron Harang unable to help his own cause by bunting into a double play. Now Aaron has to go back to work, and it's been drudgery for him. He's made 61 pitches in 2 innings, 34 in the first inning and 27 in the second. So Aaron at least in the game, and he'll be facing Carlos Quinton, Yasmani Grandal, and then Yonder Alonso. Quinton grounded to third in the first inning. Carlos 0 for 1. Quinton has been considered a power hitter. He hit as many as 36. That was 4 years ago with the White Sox. He's hit 26 and 24 over in the American League. He has 15 now. Check swing, it'll cost him a strike, and the count 0-1. With the Padres in only 32 games earlier, he got out with 7 home runs, but he's cooled down a bit. So Quinton with a no ball, 1 strike count, waiting at the plate. Carlos is from Bellflower, lives in Chula Vista, went to Stanford, and had Tommy John surgery about 9 years ago. Strike 1 pitch on the way is slapped foul off to the right, out of play. 0-2 the count. For the Dodgers, the final game of a 7-game homestand. Remember, 4 with Arizona, 3 with San Diego. Then they'll go out for 5 games as Quentin lifts one off first base. Adrian Gonzalez has some room and makes the catch in front of his old club. So Quentin fouls out, 1 away, and the batter will be Yasmani Grandal, who took a big swing and dribbled one up along first base and was able to beat it for a base hit and picked up a run batted in. Grandal, switch hitter, and feasted in Colorado. Batting left-handed, Yasmani takes high, ball 1, 1-0. Back comes Harang and gets the outside corner. The 1-1 pitch on the way, and that's a little high. Yasmani is 6'2" and 210. What made it interesting about his 2 home runs, one from each side of the plate, he hits a ground ball hard to Mark Ellis, but that has out all over it. That was the first game that Grandal ever started in the big leagues, and he hits 2 home runs, one from each side of the plate. What a way to break in. So 2 down here in the third, and Yonder Alonso coming up. Alonso lined out to Shane Victorino in the first inning. Takes high, ball 1. Padres got 3 in the top of the first. Dodgers came back with 1 in the second, and that's it. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way, and that's a little low, ball 2. Last we heard, Miguel Montero had knocked in a run. Arizona leading the Giants 1-0. It's still that way. We'll check the inning. And the next pitch is strike. It's in the 4th inning, top of the 4th at AT&T Park. 2-1. First baseman swings, pops it foul behind the plate. AJ coming back has a look, but that's all. 2-2 the count to Yonder Alonso. 2 pretty different first names back to back. You don't run into a crowd where you meet Yasmani followed by Yonder, and not very often. But you meet him here tonight. 2-2 the count to Alonso. Harang ready, fastball foul back. He hits 90 on the gun. Aaron at 6'7", about 260. Very soft-spoken. You could say gentle giant. Very nice fella. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way, and he's high, ball 3. Harang is 9-8 this year, 1-1 against the Padres, 4-5 lifetime. 3-2 the count to Alonso. Harang delivers high again. So a 2-out walk will bring up Logan Forsythe. That's the second walk that Harang has given up. So 5 hits, 2 walks, 3 runs. Forsythe flied to right field in the first inning. Logan with an 8-game hitting streak. Batting .279. 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in, and coming of age. Ball 1. Logan Forsythe is from Memphis, Tennessee. Went to the University of Arkansas, however, and was a first-round pick by the Padres, 2008. 1 ball and no strikes. Alonso at first with 2 out, 3-1 San Diego, top of the third. 1-0 pitch on the way. Harang works it on the inside corner for a strike. 1-1. Logan Forsythe, back in 2007, played on Team USA. 6'1", 200-pounder. 25. Swings, doesn't get it. 1-2 the count. Forsythe, who was really just starting out his career, came up last year went down to Tucson to start this year, called up. 1-2. Harang out of a stretch. Right-hander decides to pay attention to Yonder Alonso. Alonso doesn't have many steals, but he is perfect. He's 3 for 3. One and two the count. And Forsythe hits a high fly ball to right field. Andre Ethier waiting for it to come down. That's it. No runs, no hits, a walk and a man left. And at the end of 2.5 innings, 3-1, San Diego. Third inning. Clayton Richard going after the top of the order. Mark Ellis, Shane Victorino, Adrian Gonzalez. And the left-handed deals in the first pitch. Breaking ball low, ball one. 1-0 the count. Ellis, a long fly ball to left field. Carlos Quinton caught it right up against the window by the Dodger bullpen. The next pitch in for a strike. During this series, we have seen as many as 7 pitchers in a game. As far as I can remember, I don't think I've ever seen a game where one team used more than 8 pitchers. The pitch is high, ball 2, 2-1. I remember years and years ago in Ebbets Field, St. Louis Cardinals used 8 pitchers in a game, and boy, it was big news. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way, and that's fouled off. The reason we bring it up, the Giants yesterday against Arizona played an 11-inning game and used 11 pitchers. You'd guess they used everybody but Lincecum, but I guess they carry more. 2-2 pitch on the way is hit to the gap in left center. It's going to drop for a base hit. Up with it is Quinton to get it back in. So Mark Ellis, who had flied out deep to left in the first inning, opens up with a base hit here in the third. And the batter will be Shane Victorino. Dodgers had 3 consecutive singles to get their 1 run in the second inning. Now they're coming right back after Richard. Victorino singled to center in the first inning. Shane hitting .257. 10 home runs, 50 runs batted in. Richard has been burned by the home run ball. He's given up 25. And the first pitch in for a strike. 0-1. Victorino a little annoyed. Cools off by walking far away from home plate and then looking at Tim Walley. At first base, Mark Ellis held on by Yonder Alonso. 3-1 San Diego, third inning. Richard looks over at first at Ellis. Now to the plate and whips a fastball in for a strike. 0-2. Clayton Richard will be 29 on the 12th. He's from Lafayette, Indiana. Victorino waiting, and the strike 2 pitch is in the dirt, blocked nicely by Grandal, and the count 1-2. We mentioned earlier that Clayton Richard has had problems on the 1-2 count. Mark Ellis hit a home run against him on a 1-2 pitch. In fact, Richard has allowed more home runs on a 1-ball 2-strike count than any other count. He's allowed 5. Fastball pulled by the diving Headley into left field. Stopping at second base is Ellis, and the Dodgers trying to get something going again. So first and second, nobody out, with Gonzalez, Kemp, and Ramirez coming up. Dodgers now have 5 hits for 1 run. In fact, with Victorino's hit, they now have 6. Adrian Gonzalez facing Clayton Richard, and Richard has been really rough against left-hand batters. He's allowed 1 home run to left-hand hitter, and left-handers coming into this game hitting only .209 against him. And he struck out Gonzalez in the first inning. 3-1 San Diego. Dodgers trying to get back into it. Richard set at the belt. Left-handed delivers, and that's driven into right center. Base hit. Here comes Ellis to score. Victorino will go to third. 3 straight hits, and it's now 3-2 San Diego, and nobody out. So Clayton Richard could not tie up Gonzalez a second time, and Adrian a line drive single to drive in the run. So the Dodgers now have 7 hits and 2 runs after spotting the Padres a 3-0 lead. And Matt Kemp is grounded out in the first inning. Coming up. So first and third, nobody out. Matt Kemp waiting, and Richard ready and delivers, and it is swung on and missed. By the way, up north, John McDonald singled home Chris Johnson, who had tripled, and it is 2-0 in favor of the D-backs in the 4th inning. One other thought, Trevor Cahill, pitching in the 4th inning, has not allowed a hit. 0-1 to Matt Kemp. Richard ready and comes back. Fastball hit slowly to Alonso, and they're going to have Victorino run down. Headley giving it to Grandal, who'll tag him out. Runners wind up at second and third on the fielder's choice. So Matt Kemp is having a devil's own time trying to come up with a hit, and Matt is bent over. I'm not sure if he doesn't feel well or just so frustrated. So Matt hits the ground ball. Alonso goes after Victorino, and by the time they get Victorino, Gonzalez is at third and Kemp is at second. So here's Hanley Ramirez. Ramirez singled in the second inning, and they will take the bat out of his hands with 1 out and figure that Richard has a better shot going after Andre Ethier. First walk given up by Clayton Richard. Ethier singled to center sharply in the second inning. Frustrated out there at second base would be at least one word to apply to Matt Kemp. The most hits by a player against Richard in his career is 10. Matt Kemp is 10 and came in hitting .385 against Richard, and he is 0 for 2. Juan Uribe is sitting on the bench hitting .385. He has 10 hits against Richard. Both Kemp and Uribe have 2 home runs against Clayton. Only Troy Tulowitzki, who just owns him with a .533 batting average and 3 home runs, is atop the heap. So Andre Ethier adding a base hit against Clayton Richard. Ethier is 4 for 26 against Clayton Richard. So they're in double play depth. Padres lead 3-2. You have Ramirez, Gonzalez down the line from third, and in between Matt Kemp. So the bases loaded, and here's Ethier, single to center, 1 for 1. Richard set, left-handed delivers, fastball in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Richard has 3 wild pitches and a couple of balks. Ethier hitting .294, 17 home runs, 80 runs batted in, and a proud possessor of 4 career grand slams. Strike 1 pitched Andre is taken low. Andre's last grand slam this year, the 10th of June, he did it in Seattle. Three runs, 5 hits for the Padres, 2 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. Ethier with a chance to tie or even get ahead. The 1-1 pitch, Andre hits a high pop fly. It'll be Cabrera calling. The infield fly rule is called, and the runners hold. So the strategy worked as far as Richard getting left-hander Andre Ethier. So here comes Luis Cruz, his single sharply to drive in a run in the second inning. Cruz hitting .395 since the middle of August. The only hotter hitter, Dexter Fowler, and right behind him, Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers. So Gonzalez at third, Kemp at second, Ramirez at first, 2 out, 3-2 San Diego. Richard out of his stretch, the left-handed deals, and Cruz a line shot, 1 hop by Cabrera, who throws to first for the out. Cruz drills it, and Everett Cabrera short hops it and turns it into an out. So the Dodgers get 1, leave 3, and trail the Padres 3-2. AT&T Uverse. Visit AT&T.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. By El Pollo Loco, crazy you can taste. And by Time Warner Cable. Dodgers load the bases with one out. Ethier pops up. Cruz hits a sinking line drive, and Cabrera short hops it and throws him out. Lewis hit that thing right on the screws. So it's 3-2 Padres, and we go to the fourth inning with Cameron Maybin. 0-1. Cameron Maybin grounded out in the second inning. Maybin 1 for 5 last night. 0-2. Boy, he really flies open. 0-2. Maybin hitting .239, 6 home runs. 0-2. Maybin does a terrific job patrolling center field at Petco Park. He's from Asheville, North Carolina, lives in Arden, North Carolina. He was a first-round pick by the Tigers 7 years ago. Recently signed a 5-year extension to stay with the Padres, so he'll be there a while. 1-2. Shot right between the legs of Harang and on through into center field. So Maybin now has hit in 7 straight, and the batter will be Clayton Richard. Another runner as a threat is Cameron Maybin. Maybin has stolen 25 out of 31. So Richard, a good hitting pitcher. We'll see if they have him trying to sacrifice, and it certainly looks that way. And he steers it foul. 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Richard has 5 sacrifices. Struck out in the second inning, but it was an 8-pitch at bat. Meanwhile, they have to worry about Cameron Maybin. Padres 3 runs, 6 hits. Got them all in the first inning. Dodgers 2 runs, 7 hits. Picked up 1 in the second, 1 in the third. The difference, I guess, Chase Headley. 0-1. The bunt is down. Good one. Harang has to throw it to Mark Ellis. Down to second base goes Maybin, and the batter will be Everett Cabrera. Don't forget, you can become a Dodger season ticket holder today and receive tickets to the final 10 home games and exclusive access to a postseason pre-on sale with a deposit for 2013. And remember, all starting at $11 per game. So for more information, visit Dodgers.com/season tickets. So here is Cabrera, the pest, to a single to left. And drag bunt single, 2 for 2. Scored a run. Will raise havoc if he gets on the base paths. Cruz playing in caddy corner at third. And the breaking ball is low, ball 1. 1-0. Cabrera bunted for a base hit. He has a half a dozen. Hitting .237. Maybin, who runs exceptionally well, so Hanley Ramirez trying to bird dog him a little. Take a step away. That's in there. 1-1 to Everett Cabrera. Cabrera is 5'8", 160 from Nicaragua. There have been quite a few players from the country of Nicaragua, but almost all of them have been pitchers. Check swing, 2-1. The most famous, El Presidente, Dennis Martinez. When a little guy growing up, Everett Cabrera, his unquestioned idol, Rafael Furcal, who will no doubt be here when the Cardinals come in on the 13th. Big 4-game series. 2-1. Pulled on the ground. If nothing else, that gets Maben to third. And it'll bring up Will Venable. Venable has walked, scored a run, single to right. 90 pitches now. Aaron is only in the 4th inning. He had a very tough first 2 innings when he made 61 pitches. Venable hitting .263 with 9 home runs, 37 runs batted in. And ball 1. Harang, like Richard, has 3 wild pitches. And Maben kind of walking down the line. He can do that because Cruz is out of sight, so far off the bag. Hit in the air to right field. Andre looking up into the night and wraps it up. So the leadoff single, they leave Maben. And at the end of 3.5 innings, 3-2 San Diego. Starting on the 13th, and Prime Ticket happy to announce a special 50-hour ticket sale starting now for the 3 weekend games in the series. You can purchase $9 tickets in the reserve, the lower reserve, or top deck sections, and the offer is only available until this Friday at 9 p.m. Pacific and subject to ticket availability. To purchase, visit Dodgers.com/special offer. Here's A.J. Ellis and a strike. A little while ago, you might have been puzzled. We were talking about the Giants. And in an 11-inning game, they used 11 pitchers. And your first thought is, my gosh, only carried 12, so only one pitcher didn't get in the game. But remember, it's September. And with the call-up, the Giants have 17 pitchers on the roster. 0-2 to count A.J. Little high, 1-2. Aaron Harang has worked 4 innings and made 91 pitches. Richard has made 50. Ground ball wide of third. Headley is on it. And just like that, 1 away. Why not get you thinking a little bit? Okay. Andre Ethier homered last night for his 1,000th hit. Which 3 players had 2,000 hits with the Dodgers? Come up with the answer in a little while. Here's Harang. Tried to bunt to sacrifice and wound up bunting into a double play. Nice play by Chase Headley. Little ground ball to the right side. Forsythe makes the play. We were looking up a little while ago, talking about most pitchers used. It had been 9. Dodgers against Houston, Cincinnati, the Giants, Cardinals, Mets. And the Giants used the 11. Which brings up a subject. Why do they change the roster? In other words, you have basically the same team. Admittedly, it changes throughout the year, but you have 25 players until the 1st of September. Why suddenly do you bring in a lot of other players? Why does the surplus number of players change the game? Why should the Giants have been allowed to use 11 pitchers? It's always been a quiet debate. Why allow teams to bring up a locker full of players, and sometimes it looks that way. 0-2 to Mark Ellis. Fly deep to left, single to center, scored a run. Padres 3, Dodgers 2 are in the bottom of the 4th, 2 out. Still 0-2. Last we heard, the D-backs were leading the Giants 2-0 up north. We'll watch it for you carefully. Clayton ready, 0-2. That's foul. Clayton's wife's name is Ashley. And Mrs. Richard has to be a fine athlete. She was a volleyball player at the University of Michigan on scholarship. His father, a retired police officer in Lafayette, Indiana. Little ground ball to Cabrera. That'll do it. So for the first time tonight, Richard has a very easy inning. 1-2-3, and at the end of 4, 3-2 San Diego.
Presented by BMW, October 25th, 1981.
With the 1981 World Series knotted at 2 games apiece, Pedro Guerrero and Steve Yeager tally back-to-back home runs in the 7th inning, leading the Dodgers to a 2-1 victory.
Strike 2 pitch, got him swinging. The Dodgers have swept the Yankees at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers have taken a 3-2 lead in this 1981 World Series.
And the years go tumbling by. 31 years ago, Dodgers going on to win it. Those are the big ones: 63, 65, 81, 98, and 88, going back to 1959. And then the first and only championship in Brooklyn, 1955. Maybe the sweetest of all the championships, 1963. That's popped in the air, going back to get it. A trio of Dodgers. It's Victorino. So they get Headley, 1 away. 1963, as we mentioned, might have been the sweetest World Series victory over the Yankees, considering how many times the Yankees defeated them in the World Series. And in 1963, the Dodgers swept the Yankees in 4. Carlos Quentin grounded to third, fouled out, 0 for 2. Harang could use a very easy inning. He had 91 pitches in 4 innings. Headley helped out by swinging at the first pitch. 0-1. And another high foul ball, and will not have a play. Quinton batting .260, 15 home runs, 43 runs batted in. As far as we know, the Giants are still without a hit against Trevor Cahill. 1-2 the count to Quinton. Yasmani Grandal on deck. That's hit down to Adrian. He'll do it himself. It looks easy in the first inning. Gonzalez fielding a ground ball and trying to feed Harang. And he hung it, but Harang had already passed the arc of the ball. And the toss was behind him. There wasn't any chance at all of making a play on Grandal. And they worked that play day after day in spring training and even during the season. Right. Yasmani had that infield single and grounded out. 1 for 2 with a run batted in. 1-1. Don't forget the Dodgers going to San Francisco Friday night. Josh Beckett and Tim Lincecum. Saturday afternoon, Chris Capuano and Matt Cain. Sunday at 5, Clayton Kershaw and Barry Zito. Kershaw pitched well enough to win last night. 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, 1 run, sitting alongside Chris Capuano. Capuano, I understand, has been spending some time talking to Chad Billingsley. He speaks, of course, from experience with 2 Tommy John surgeries. Chad, of course, doesn't want surgery. I mean, if he has it, it figures he'll miss a year. So it's a big debate, a big decision, and Capuano is trying not to influence him, but to try and give him an idea of what it's like. 2 out, Yonder Alonso lined out and walked, 0 for 1. Alonso had 1 hit yesterday, a double. That's his only hit in the series. And flares one into left field for a base hit. Victorino will get it back. So Alonso singles, Grandal to second, and with 2 out, Logan Forsythe coming up. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Padres. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. And we're just in the 5th inning. Forsythe having a good year at second base, and now Rick Honeycutt will go out and talk to Aaron Harang. In the Dodger bullpen, Sean Tollison begins to warm up. So a meeting at the mound as Forsythe waits. Gives us a chance perhaps to tell you a little bit about Logan Forsythe. Really in his first full year. The facial hair makes him look older. He's 24. He'll be 25 later on. Usually the pattern in the little time that he's been in the big leagues since last year, he doesn't hit very much in the first 3 innings. And then usually comes alive a bat from the 4th inning on. Forsythe is a good size, 6'1", 200. Most home runs, well, at Tucson he hit 8. but he has got 3 this year. And the strike. Forsythe 0 for 2 with fly balls to right field. He has an 8-game hitting streak. No balls, 1 strike. 1-1. Since he is from Memphis, you can imagine the number one question. All of his teammates. Hey, did you ever go to Graceland? How about Elvis? One and one. Good fastball at 90. 1-2 the count. Grandal at second, Alonso at first with 2 out. Padres are a far different team than the Dodgers saw the first week of the season, but come to think of it, so are the Dodgers. Fouled away. Dodgers had a break in the schedule by playing San Diego and beat them 3 out of 4. Then the next time they saw them, they won 3 straight. So they had won 6 of the first 7 meetings in April against San Diego. That gave them a good boost, good jump. 2-2 the count to Logan Forsythe. With the victory last night, however, the Padres are 10 games above 500 since June the 12th. Bud's boys have won 43 games and lost 33, where in the early going they were 11 games under 500. So it's a much better team now. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. 3-2 Padres. Fastball line to left. Victorino reaches up and snares it. Boy, that thing would have gone to the wall and a bunch of runs would have scored. Fine play by Victorino on a hard hit ball to his left. No runs, a hit, 2 left. And at the end of 4.5, 3-2 Padres. Has given up 7 hits. Big difference in number of pitches. Aaron Harang, after a start where he made 61 pitches in 2 innings, 109 pitches, and Richard only 58. So they're in a struggle here, each side with 2 earned runs, and the Padres leading 3-2. That was on the relay by Hanley Ramirez. that was wide of home and allowed a run to score by Will Venable in the first inning. So here's Victorino. He just saved a couple of runs. Catches that line drive heading towards left center. Nice to have two center fielders out there in Victorino and Kemp. High bouncer off the glove, charging and making the play is Forsythe too late. So Shane Victorino bounces one off the glove of Richard. Forsythe tries to make the play, almost collided with Cabrera. It'll be an infield single, and the batter, Adrian Gonzalez. For Victorino, he is now 3 for 3 as he visits at first with Yonder Alonso. So here's Adrian Gonzalez. Remember, we told you left-handers were hitting only .209 against Richard, and Adrian struck out in the first inning. But in the third, he singled to right to drive in a run. They have played 6 up north, Arizona 2, and the Giants nothing. Trevor Cahill lost the perfect game with a walk to Brandon Crawford. That's a strike. The no-hitter is still alive up there. Center fielder Adam Eaton made a diving catch of a line drive by Angel Pagan to end the 6th inning. So 2-0 D-backs behind Trevor Cahill. Throw to first, almost got him leaning the wrong way. Remember, Victorino has 32 stolen bases. The old story, bad base runners are never picked off. One and one. Adrian hitting .250 as his average begins to climb. 1 home run, 10 runs batted in. Fastball, and that's hit into left center for a base hit. So Adrian is 2 for 3. Dodgers first and second, and the batter will be Matt Kemp. Ever since Matt Kemp crashed into the wall in Colorado, and that was back at the end of August, that series was August 27, 28, and 29. He has come back, but he has not come back apparently 100%. He's been struggling. And looking back, he was 2 for 17, then 3 for 19, 3 for 20, 3 for 21, 3 for 22. He is 3 for his last 23 at bats. And a strike. So going 3 for 23, his average has taken a nosedive. 0-1. Don Mattingly was asked about Matt Kemp's shoulder. Ground ball up the middle, but it hit the mound, so they get 1, and they're not going to get 2 as the throw pulls Alonso off the bag. So it's a force play, and Gonzalez did a pretty good job of breaking it up down there at second base. Looks DP, there's the feed, but here comes Adrian, and the off-balance throw by Forsythe off the line. Talking about Mattingly and Matt Kemp, and Mattingly said if something's bothering him to the point that he can't help us, then he has to be honest with us. But Matt apparently feels he's okay, but he almost hit into a double play. So the tying run is 90 feet away, and the batter is Hanley Ramirez. Ball 1. Dodgers, remember, left the bases loaded in the third inning. Now they have first and third, 1 out, and Ramirez trying to pick up his 85th run batted in. And ball 2. On deck, Andre Ethier. Andre a little hungry. Had a base hit in the second, but popped up with the bases loaded in the third. 2-0. And a line drive base hit. Scoring easily is Victorino. Stopping at second is Kemp. And for Hanley Ramirez, his 85th run batted in to get the game even at 3. Andre Ethier now coming up. First and second. 1 out. Yes, I see you. Boy, 85 RBIs in such a short time, really. And of course, Victorino not only had the base hit to score, remember he saved 2 runs, but that catch on the ball hit by Logan Forsythe. So Ethier singled in the second inning. Popped up with the bases loaded in the third. He has Kemp at second, Ramirez at first. And that's popped up. It will be the infield fly and Everett Cabrera. So Ethier has been unable to move 5 men in the last 2 at-bats.
Number 47, Luis Cruz.
And the batter will be Luis Cruz. Cruz singled to center to drive in a run and really ripped one in the third. A sinking line drive. Cabrera short hopped it, but the ball was hit so hard that Forsythe, the second baseman, couldn't get to the bag, and Cabrera had to throw to first. By the way, as Bud Black comes out, and we might have a double switch, we'll have some time, and we'll be right back. Dealers. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network, AT&T Rethink Possible. And by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. We have a 3-3 tie here in the 5th inning, and the Dodgers on a base hit by Hanley Ramirez tie it up. We said it was a double switch. Alex Amarista comes in to play second base. So if you are keeping score, Nick Vincent, the new pitcher, goes in Logan Forsythe's spot, and Amaristi will be batting ninth. By the way, we have a moment to tell you, Arizona is now leading the Giants 3-0, top of the 7th inning. Aaron Hill, who has just been absolutely on fire for the D-backs, had an RBI double, and that knocked Bumgarner out of the game. So the Dodgers are tied 3-3 thanks to Hanley Ramirez. Ramirez driving home Shane Victorino, who saved 2 defensively. Interesting, too, for Hanley Ramirez. He now has 37 runs batted in the 40 games in which he has played for the Dodgers. So it's Nick Vincent taking over, a right-hander born to be a Padre. He was born in Poway and lives in Ramona. Slider is popped in the air, foul. Here comes Grandal, a base of the screen, and one-hands it. Nice play by Yasmani Grandal to get Cruz. Dodgers get 1, and at the end of 5, tied 3-3. Championships, and in the borough of Brooklyn, the sweetest one, 1955, when they beat the Yankees to win their only World's Championship. One of the reasons they won that year was the big right-hander by the name of Don Newcomb. And on this day in 1955, Big Newt won his 20th game and hit his 7th home run. Dodgers won that ball game and cruised to the pennant and the World Series. Big Don Newcomb, remember, the only one to be Rookie of the Year, the MVP, and the Cy Young Award winner. What a guy. Let's go back to this one. And oh, did the borough go wild. That night when they were celebrating at the Bassett Hotel, the crowds lining the sidewalks. Anyone who had to go to the hotel to join in the celebration had to walk down the middle of the street. I mean, Brooklyn was alive that night. Sean Tolleson now with Adam Kennedy playing third. The Dodgers make a double switch. Check swing, no swing. Cameron Maybin the batter. So Sean Tolleson picking up, and it means the starting pitchers, they're not only not the finishing pitchers, they'll have nothing to do with the decision. That's a strike. 1-1. Maybin is grounded out and single. Punched foul off to the right. 1-2 the count. So just as Vincent the pitcher came in to hit 7th, and Amaristi is now the number 9 hitter, Dodgers have done the same thing. Tolleson will be in Cruz's spot, and Kennedy would bat 9th. 2-2 the count. Cameron Maybin hitting .241. Don't forget, Trevor Cahill still working on a no-hitter, and Arizona is leading the Giants 4-0. Chased and missed. So Maybin strikes out. 1 away. The batter now will be Alexei Amarista. Remember the trivia question? Andre Ethier homered last night for 1,000th hit. which 3 players had 2,000 hits with the Dodgers? Well, there was Zach Wheat way back, 2,800. Pee Wee Reese, 2,170. And right here, the 3 dog for the L.A. Dodgers, 2,091. Here's Amaristi. At 5'6", he is still a very big man in the Padre plans. He's hitting .261. 5 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Oh, and 2. Amaristi in this series, although he is a second baseman, has played left field in each of the first 2 games in late inning maneuvering. Basically, he is a second baseman. And down he goes against Tollison. So 2 strikeouts for Sean. Look at that fastball sail away. And the batter will be Everett Cabrera. So for a pitcher against the Padres, first you get Amarista at 5'6", then you get Cabrera at 5'8". Chris Johnson doubled in 2 more up at AT&T Park, and Arizona leading the Giants 6-0, top of the 7th inning. That drops in for a strike. One ball and 1 strike. So Clayton Richard made 69 pitches while he was in there, 4 2/3. Aaron Harang made 109 while he was out there. He goes 5. They each give up 3, and here we are in the 6th with 2 out. Dodgers, of course, hurting in the pitching department. They've lost Chad Billingsley certainly for the year. Ted Lilly is a big question mark. Scott Elbert, he's out. Ted Lilly, Billingsley being starters, and then of course the closer, Kenley Jansen. Yet with all of that, it looks like they have a shot to be trailing by 3.5 when they go up north. Maybe. It's 3-3 here. 3-2. Cabrera single left, scored a run. Singled and got to third in the 2nd inning, then grounded out. Will Venable on deck. 3 runs, 10 hits for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Padres. Fouled away again. Cabrera, switch hitter. Tomorrow, the off day, a travel day to go to San Francisco. Friday night, Josh Beckett and Tim Lincecum. 3-2 to Cabrera. And strike 3 called, and down he goes. Cabrera, not finished, has something to say, but with a big grin on his face. So Tollison comes in and strikes out the side. And we're heading to the bottom of the 6th, 3-3. Loud, ready to go to work in the bottom of the 6th inning in a 3-3 tie. Remember the story up north, Trevor Cahill working on a no-hitter through 6 innings. He had a perfecto for a little while, and then he walked a hitter. The first pitch in for a strike. Anyway, the leadoff man, Scutaro, Sandoval, and Posey in the 7th inning, and Scutaro a clean single to right field to break up the spell. 1-1 the count to A.J. Ellis. Flied to right, grounded to third. That was a nice inning. 6th inning for Tollison. 15 pitches. Foul back, 1-2. Nick Vincent, we mentioned, born in Poway, lives in Ramona. He's a graduate of Ramona High School. He attended both Palomar Junior College and Long Beach State. Been a pro since 2008, and he's 25 years old. Two and two the count. The starters, Aaron Harang, after 109 pitches, 5 innings, 3 runs. Clayton Richards, 69 pitches, and had to leave with 2 out in the 5th inning and 3 runs. Slice down the right field line, back into the stands. Venable over to take a look. 2-2 the count as Will goes back to position. They play A.J. that way. Cameron Maben shading right center. They give him just about all of straightaway left field. 2-2 to Ellis, hitting .279. And another foul off to the right. Remember, his grand slam home run in Colorado hit the back wall of the Dodger bullpen in right center field. Even in the rarefied air of Denver, that was a monstrous poke. 2-2. And a high fly ball to center appears playable. Maben is there. So long fly ball to center, 1 down. Adam Kennedy coming up. Don't forget, Friday, September 14th, that's the second to the last Friday night fireworks show of the season. There ought to be plenty of fireworks down on the field with the Cardinals. And after the game, fans are invited onto the field to enjoy the show. So for tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Adam Kennedy hitting .262, 1 home run, 15 runs batted in, and a strike. Kennedy has done a good job all year and swinging the bat as a pinch hitter. He's 8 for 28. 0-1. Finishing up at third base tonight for Luis Cruz. Adam, 1 home run. Two and 1 to count. Nick Vincent making the jump. Last year he was at AA, and he was an all-star in the Texas League. Averaged a strikeout an inning. 3-1 to Adam Kennedy. Waiting on deck, Mark Ellis. 3-2. Adam Kennedy has had a marvelous career. Long way from being over. Came up to the big leagues with the Cardinals in 1999. With that uppercut swing, he has hit 13 home runs. That was his high, and that was with the Angels back in 2003. And of course, talking about three home runs in a postseason game, and where's number 3? Little ground ball, Amarista. 2 down. So with 2 out, Mark Ellis coming up. Ellis hit the ball hard. Long fly ball to left. Nice catch by Carlos Quinton in the first inning. Single to center in the third, then grounded out in the fourth. Mark batting .270. 5 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Looked like a fastball that really had a little giddy up on that. Vincent pitched the 7th inning of the first game. Retired the Dodgers in order. Little dribbler. Vincent feeds it, although he could have just kept on going and stepped on the bag. So down goes Ellis, and at the end of 6. Dodgers 3, Padres 3. Seventh inning, it'll be Will Venable, then Chase Headley and Carlos Quinton. Sean Tolleson came in to pitch the 6th inning and struck out the side on 15 pitches. Will Venable has walked, singled, scored a run, and flied to right. Venable, 29. He'll be 30 the end of October. We mentioned he went to Princeton. In high school, he went to San Rafael High, and he lettered 4 times in basketball, 3 times in baseball, once in track and field. That's ball 1. He went to Princeton, majoring in anthropology, and he was a big man on campus. Ball 2. In fact, he was the team's 2-time MVP and a complete player. Played in the NCAA tournament when they lost in the first round to Texas in basketball. Ball 3. Venable was the 26th player in Princeton history in playing basketball to break the 1,000-point barrier. In there. About 6 years ago, when Max was still playing, his father, he and his dad were both together at the Fort Wayne Wizards. His father was the batting coach. So Venable, a walk, and that means trouble for Tolleson.
Batting next, number 7.
Venable has stolen 20 out of 26. Chase Headley, so far tonight, doubled, grounded out, flied out. He has now become a .336 career hitter at Dodger Stadium. Chase Headley. He's hitting .284. 0-1. Headley, who originally majored in sports medicine, then went to Tennessee and switched to sports management. Big difference. Wearing the Dodgers out, 19 RBIs. He has 94 runs batted in for the year. That's remarkable for him as they keep an eye on Venable. Headley's high in runs batted in 3 years ago. He had 64. Oh and 1. One ball and one strike. With all of it, Chase Headley's only 28. He's been with the Padres now. Came up in 07, went out to Portland, and he's been with San Diego ever since. 5th year. One ball and one strike. Chase, among other things, was the high school valedictorian and an academic All-American. One ball, one strike. Did he? They're going to look at third. Yes, he did. Darrell Cousins. So that makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Chase Headley. Headley with 19 RBIs. He also has 6 home runs against the Dodgers. So he's having a huge year. 1 and 2. In fact, when you look at best Padres seasons against the Dodgers, Nate Colbert and Dave Winfield had 7 home runs. Phil Nevin, Chase Headley 6, and in RBIs, Headley and Winfield 19. And boy, did the Dodgers want Headley as Venable goes, and there's no play. 2-2 the count. A.J. Ellis never had the ball to handle. And for Venable, stolen base number 21. So Headley with a 2-ball, 2-strike count, and A.J. Ellis out to talk to Tolleson. Down in the Dodger bullpen, left-hander Randy Choate begins to loosen up. Down the line a little, you have Grandal, a switch hitter, maybe to turn him around. And Alonso, the first baseman, is a left-handed hitter. 2-2 to Chase. Nobody out. Venable at second. And ball 3. Dodger bullpen, of course, has thinned out considerably with the loss of Scott Elbert and Kenley Jansen. Not much that Mattingly can do about that. 3-2. And that's going to go foul. Sound like a cracked bat. Yep, it is. We then have time to tell you, since the bullpen is so thin because of the injuries, the Dodgers have brought up a youngster whom they drafted in the 2nd round this year out of the University of Florida. His name is Steven Rodriguez, but everybody calls him Paco. He's 6'3" and about 235. The back man there is Belisario, but Paco's in front of him. He was born in 1991. Just turned 20, 21 now. A graduate of Gulliver Prep, and then got the baseball scholarship to the University of Florida. Paco said, "Call me Paco, only my mom calls me Steven, and only when she's mad at me." 3-2 to Headley. Breaking ball flared to center. Kemp is going to have to play it on a bounce, and they will hold Venable on a one-hopper to the plate. So Headley comes up with another hit after a double in the first inning. He's 2 for 4. Didn't get an RBI, but he certainly set it up. So Tolleson a walk and a single, and the batter will be Carlos Quinton, a right-handed batter. Following Quinton, you have Grandal, who switches, and Grandal's numbers are better as a right-handed batter than left. So it wouldn't appear as if they want to turn him around. However, after Grandal is Alonso, and he's a left-handed batter, period. So Tolleson in a mess after striking out the side in the 6th. Alonso watching. First and third, nobody out. 3-3 tie. Arizona breezing up north 6-0. Giants never quit. They've battled back, loaded the bases. Chase Cahill, Brandon Bolt got a base hit. Giants scored 2. Still hitting in the 7th. Arizona 6 and the Giants 2. Foul back. Quinton grounded to third, fouled out, and grounded Adrian Gonzalez. Ryan Theriot came off the bench to pinch hit for the Giants. Hit into a double play with runners at first and third. That ended that. So it's 6-2 Arizona at the end of 7. And a high fly ball that's plenty deep to get Venable home. All Kemp can do is think about the runner at first and get it back into the infield. So Quinton, fly ball to center. Sacrifice fly picks up Venable. And the Padres, who led 3-0 earlier, now lead 4-3. So here is Grandal. Had a dribble single, good enough for a run batted in. Grounded out and walked. 1 for 2. Inside of the division, the Padres are as good as the Dodgers, certainly on paper. In the division, the Padres are 3 games under. They've won 25. Bud's Club lost 28. The Dodgers are 3 games under. 27 wins, 30 losses. 1 ball and no strikes. Grandal, the catcher, hitting .280. Chase Headley over there at first base. May not be a speedster to compare with people like Cabrera, but he has stolen 14 out of 20. Everybody runs in that Padre lineup. 1-0. Right. Down in the bullpen, Randy Choate is now joined by Ronald Belisario. Of course, Belisario pitched the 9th inning of last night. Choate pitched in the 8th inning last night. Headley, cautious lead, and still draws a throw. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Padres, 3 runs, 10 hits for the Dodgers. Padres have won 5 of the 14, but they've won 3 of the last 4 against the Dodgers. Popped in the air, foul, no play. 1-2. So as we told you, the record is a bit skewered when you look at the fact that the Dodgers have won 9 of the 14 because they caught the Padres early. Won 3 in a row, won 6 of 7 from the Padres, all in April. That's a far cry from the club they have now. 1-2. Yasmani Grandal 2-2. One out, one in, 4-3 San Diego. Just thinking, you know how the Dodgers have fallen into the habit, if a fella gets a game-winning base hit, etc., they want to tear the shirt off him? If Adrian Gonzalez gets a base hit, a walk-off, they will not be able to tear the shirt off. 2-2. Ground ball to short. Ramirez to Ellis. Easily turning it. That'll be that. We'll tell you about Adrian Gonzalez and his shirt, but we're going to the bottom of the 7th. 4-3 San Diego. When you look, you see everybody but Ellis and Kemp with base hits, but they seem to be floundering. They've had at least one man on base in every inning but the 4th and 6th, and I mean they've had men on base. So the Dodgers against Boxberger as we go to the bottom of the 7th, and they'll have Shane Victorino. He'll be followed by Adrian Gonzalez and then Matt Kemp. Boxberger, born in Fullerton, so a local boy, lives over in Goodyear in Arizona. 6'2", 195. Brad is 24 years old. Graduated from Foothill High School in Tustin then went on to USC on a baseball scholarship and majored in communications. The Royals wanted him 6 years ago, but he followed his father's footsteps to USC. His dad was outstanding, went 12-1 as a pitcher, and earned the MVP in the 1978 USC National Championship squad in the College World Series. So you talk about a chip off the old block, it's Brad Boxberger. Victorino hitting .260 and 3 for 3. Single to center, single to left, and then singled in the 5th inning off the glove of Clayton Richard. Also made a fine running catch of a ball hit by Logan Forsythe. That saved 2 runs in the 5th inning. 0-2. Boxberger, 13 walks, 21 strikeouts since coming up out of Carolina. Brad's been pitching only for 2 years. Hit in the air, foul out of play. In other words, he was a first-round pick by the Reds and started to pitch professionally in 2010. So this is his 3rd season. Basically, Brad with a fastball, slider, curve, and changeup. Got him. That was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. So down goes Victorino. 1 down. Adrian Gonzalez struck out in the 1st inning. Then in the 3rd inning, he stroked a breaking ball for a base hit to right field to drive in a run. And in the 5th inning, went down to get 1 down and away and single to left. If you look at his shirt, remember I mentioned to you can't tear it off. You see the buttons and you think, oh, well, you just unbutton it. But it doesn't work that way. The only way he can get that shirt on and off is over his head. Ball 1. Ah, yes, a bit of tailoring. I've seen dress shirts where the buttons are totally covered by cloth, especially tuxedos. 1 ball and no strikes. That's ball 2. 1 out, 7th inning, 4-3 San Diego. Giants still struggling. Last we heard it was 6-2 favor of Arizona. Change up. First one he's thrown. And he's behind 3-0. On deck, Matt Kemp. In the dirt for ball 4. So Gonzalez reaches for the 3rd time tonight. And here comes Matt. Matt is struggling to where he now has 3 hits in his last 24 at-bats. Average now at .321. 1 out, 4-3 Padres. Gonzalez at first. Fastball fouled away. 0-1. Matt has 18 home runs, 55 runs batted in. Dodgers are hoping and waiting, and so's Matt. Kemp usually does well against the Padres. He's hit safely in 15 of 16 games against them. He is 0 for 3 tonight. Matt hitting .288 against right-handers, but over .400 against left-handers. 1-1. Ball 2. Boxberger's fastball has been clocked as high as 96. When he struck out Victorino, it was 94. Fastball and a high drive to center. Back goes Maben to the wall, leaps in the air and makes the catch. Takes a home run away from Matt Kemp. Oh, what a play by Cameron Maben, depriving the Dodgers of a lead and taking a home run away from Kemp. Maben just missed a couple of home runs in center by inches, but not this time. The ball was hit a mile high. Cameron tied his jump, reached up and made the catch. Huge play. So Matt Kemp, a long out on a wonderful play by the Padres center fielder. And the batter now, Hanley Ramirez. Well, turnabout is fair play. If you look back in the 5th inning, remember, Logan Forsythe hit a line drive to the gap in left center, and Shane Victorino speared it on the dead run. Otherwise, with 2 out, there's 2 runs. Now, Maben climbs the ladder and takes 2 runs off the board from the Dodgers, and it's still 4-3 Padres. Right. In the Dodger bullpen, Jamie Wright and Randy Choate. Boy, what a big league play for Cameron Maben. One ball and 1 strike. Way out in front. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Padres. 3 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. So Matt feeling like he was robbed, and he was. 0 for 4. As Arizona still leading the Giants 6-2. Bottom of the 8th inning, and that strike 3 called to Hanley Ramirez. But there's the man, Cameron Maben, taking what appeared to be a sure home run away from Matt Kemp, depriving the Dodgers of 2 runs and a 1-run lead. Instead, they still trail 4-3. Part of the story. It's certainly worth another look. Kemp went down to get one, looked like it was going out. A perfectly timed play by Cameron Maben. It cost Kemp a home run. It cost the Dodgers 2 runs, and the Padres still lead 4-3. Brad Boxberger, 16 pitches, and he was saved by Maben. Now Yonder Alonso will be facing Randy Choate. So Harang went 5. Tollison pitched the 6th and 7th, and we're in the 8th. Jesus Guzman comes out on deck. Remember, the pitcher hits in the number 7 slot, so Guzman will be hitting. Alonso lined out to left, walked, single to left, 1 for 2. Bottom of the 8th inning up north, 6-2 Arizona. Brad Ziegler, sidearm sinker baller, is now on the mound for Arizona. They had a collision at third base up there. John McDonald and Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval a little annoyed. Started to push back. The dugout's emptied, but quietly they've resumed play. 2-0 the count to Yonder. Randy Choate in his 66th game this year and his 22nd as a Dodger. Randy with the Dodgers, 5 walks, 8 strikeouts. 2-1. Slider, 2-2 the count. Alonso hitting .272, 7 home runs, 47 runs batted in. Two and two. Got him. Outside corner at the knees. Alonso giving his opinion to plate umpire Jim Wolf. Wolf giving his opinion back to Yonder Alonso. Guess who wins that one? So 1 out in the 8th inning. And the batter will be Jesus Guzman. And now Don Mattingly is not going to let Guzman hit against a left-hander. He'll go to the pen. Guzman has power and he's a very good hitter. We'll be right back. Arizona, but when they come back, they've got a huge 4-game series with the Cardinals. Prime Ticket is happy to announce a special 50-hour ticket sale starting now for the 3 weekend games in the series. You can purchase $9 tickets in the reserve, lower reserve, or top deck sections, and the offer is only available until this Friday at 9 p.m. Pacific. and, of course, is subject to ticket availability. So to purchase, visit Dodgers.com/special offer. Jamie Wright is now brought in to pitch to Jesus Guzman out of Sucre in Venezuela. He is a Sucre swinger, a sweet swinger, and trouble with the bat. 6 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Ball 1. Last year for the Padres, he hit .312. He had 5 home runs, 44 runs batted in. The problem is they really can't find a place for him. At least right now, he is not considered a good fielder. And ground ball to the left. Hanley is on it. 2 down. So Guzman goes out, and the batter now is the hero with the glove, Cameron Maybin. It's always quite a play. A towering fly ball to center. You watch the center fielder go back, time, jump. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. This time they did. One of the better catches in the few years Dodgers going to San Diego, Milton Bradley made an incredible jumping catch, extended even more so than Maybin. Big chopper in the lights, but Kennedy is able to find it. So 1-2-3 as Jamie Wright sets him down. We're heading for the bottom of the 8th, 4-3 San Diego. Of the 8th. Dodgers can't afford thinking about the weekend, but they can't afford to look up there. They're in danger of tripping here. However, Friday night, Josh Beckett, who pitched so well his last time out, up against Tim Lincecum, who is a major question. Everybody knows he was twice the Cy Young Award winner, but the way Timmy has been pitching, you just don't know who's going out there, the Cy Young Award winner or somebody who struggles for about 5 innings or less. But that's Friday night. Right now, bottom of the 8th, 4-3 Padres. Left-hander Joe Thatcher, basically fastball, slider. He has a cutter to right-hand batters and a pretty good changeup. Joe will be 31 years old in October. He's 6'2" and 230 from Indianapolis. Thatcher, originally drafted by the Brewers and came to the Padres in 2007. So here is Andre Ethier, single, popped up twice against the left-hander who started, Clayton Richard, and a strike. We can duck in the fact that Arizona is leading the Giants 6-2. That's top of the 9th inning. 0-1 to Andre. Thatcher sneaks that pitch in. 0-2 the count. Joe is 6'2", big man at 230. I love the team he played for in the Frontier League, the River City Bandits. That's a big sweeper that he throws. The slider. 1-2. And the fastball got him. So Thatcher mixes things up and nails Ethier. And the batter will be a hitter for Tollison. And that would be for right now. And that, of course, would be Juan Rivera.
For the Dodgers, pinch hitting, number 21, Juan Rivera.
So Rivera comes up. It's been Harang, Tollison, Choate, and Wright. Down in the bullpen, Brandon League is warming up. And now that Rivera has been announced, Bud Black making a move. So he'll go to the bullpen again, and we'll be right back. Fans with the first 30,000 tickets will receive their very own Dodgers fleece blanket, compliments of Carl's Jr. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotion. All right, 4-3 Padres. Thatcher makes 4 pitches after striking out Ethier. He gives way to Dale Thayer. Thayer's a local boy, lives in Huntington Beach, went to Chico State and Edison High School. Originally signed by the Padres, but came up to the big leagues with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, then went to the Mets, and this year with San Diego. Thayer an even 6'190". He'll be 32 in December. Basically fastball, slider, changeup. Fastball to Bobby Abreu at 95. So Rivera was announced, and he's out of the game. Abreu is hitting for Rivera, who had been hitting for Wright. The paid attendance tonight, 50,560. 5-0, and we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Abreu batting .249, 2 home runs, 17 runs batted in. appeared as a pinch hitter yesterday and walked, appeared as a pinch hitter the day before and grounded out. Foul back. Appeared as a pinch hitter the day before that and struck out. So Bobby has come off the bench in the last Arizona game and the first two with San Diego. No balls and 2 strikes. A.J. Ellis hitting back of him. Remember, Adam Kennedy's batting 9th. And strike 3 called. Though Abreu kind of smiles and walks away. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts. Ramirez struck out in the 7th. Efe has struck out here in the 8th, followed by Abreu going down. And here's A.J. Ellis. Fly to right, grounded to third, fly to center. Dale Thayer, 2-2 in his 51st game. Fastball hit something. It certainly got Grandal, and apparently the bat as well. 0-1 the count. Sailed in, hit the bat, got the catcher. Yasmani straps on the gear. 0-1 the count. 4-3 San Diego, bottom of the 8th. Giants losing 6-2, and they're in the 9th. 0-2 to A.J. Ellis. And ground ball, a shoal at short. Cabrera, and the tag at first by Alonso. So the Dodgers go down in order. They haven't had a base hit since Ramirez singled in the 5th inning. And at the end of 8, 4-3 San Diego. He's got 3 runs in the first inning. Dodgers came back with a run in the 2nd, the run in the 3rd, finally tied it with a run in the 5th. Padres got a go-ahead run in the 7th, leading 4-3. The Dodgers in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out. Gonzalez walked, and that's when Kemp looked like he hit a home run to dead center, and Cameron Maybin made a highlight film catch to take the home run away and keep the Padres with a 1-run lead. So now in the 9th inning, Alexi Amarista followed by Everett Cabrera, then Will Venable against Brandon League, who's been pitching very, very well. 0-1 the count. Brandon League won his first game of the year yesterday. 2 scoreless innings. Amarista, a late arrival, hitting .260. 0-1. And lifts one into shallow right center. Kemp is coming, but Ellis is calling. One out in the 9th inning, and Everett Cabrera coming up. For Brandon League, among other things, he has tossed scoreless relief in his last 8 appearances. That goes back to the 21st of August. And over that stretch, the hitters are 3 for 29 against him. That would be a batting average of 103. Working now on Cabrera. Right. Cabrera single left, scored a run in the first inning, singled in the second on a drag bunt and got as far as third, and then grounded out and struck out. Everett hitting .235. Shows the bunt. He has a half a dozen bunt singles. Dodgers are not through with the Padres. They have to go to San Diego on the 25th, 26th, and 27th of September. Those would be their last road games, and then their final homestand with Colorado and the Giants. 1-2 to count to Everett Cabrera. Dodgers began the wild card race a game and a half behind Atlanta and St. Louis, who are tied, and St. Louis lost to the Mets. 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. When the Dodgers come up in the 9th, Kennedy, Ellis, and Victorino. If anybody gets on, Gonzalez. Adam getting into the game in a double switch. He'll be leading off. Two and two. The Braves, who were tied with the Cardinals in the wild card, won a tough game from the Rockies. Wow, 1-0. So Atlanta moves ahead of St. Louis by a game and could be 2.5 in front of the Dodgers, unless the Dodgers can shake themselves in the bottom of the 9th. 3-2 to Cabrera. And that sinker is inside. So the 1-out walk puts Cabrera at first. And that means a threat of a runner at second, of course, because Cabrera, as we've said, has stolen 26 out of 27. Up north, Matt Lindstrom closed the door, struck out Sandoval, then he struck out Posey. For good measure, he struck out Pence. Arizona beats the Giants 6-2. So for Mattingly, it's a maddening moment. Giants losing in 11 innings last night, but the Dodgers lose in 11. Now the Giants lose this evening. There goes Cabrera, steals it easily. 27 out of 28. One ball and no strikes to Will Venable. Venable has walked twice, single flied out. He's stolen a base. Padres have stolen 125 bases, right behind the Marlins. To compare, 125 to 89. 2-0 to Venable. 1 out. Cabrera at second. 4-3 Padres. Now Venable has the count 3-0, and on deck, a .336 hitter here at Dodger Stadium in his career, Chase Headley, who has had a tremendous season against the Dodgers with 3 left. In there. Four runs, 8 hits for San Diego, 3 runs, 10 hits for the Dodgers. A dancing Cabrera. And there's ball 4. So first and second, back-to-back walks. And now Mr. Headley. Chase doubled in the first inning over Kemp's head. It hit the base of the left center field wall for the double. Since then, grounded out, fly to left, and single to center, advancing Venable to third so he could score on a fly ball. So every time you look up, Headley is driving in a run. He has 94 now. Chase hitting .285, 24 home runs. 6 of them against the Dodgers this year. 19 runs batted in against the Dodgers this year. 16 of the 24 home runs hit left-handed. Ball 1. Headley, 28 years old, just really coming into his own. 1-1. Last year he hit a solid .289. This year he's hitting .285. One ball and 1 strike. 2 on, 1 out. Pickoff play, but no throw. The one thing about Cabrera, he keeps everybody on his toes. Cabrera dancing around out there. Time at the plate, no pitch. Count stays 1 ball and 1 strike. Headley, born in Fountain, Colorado, lives in Knoxville, went to the university. Off the plate, ball 2. 2-1. So imagine so far this year, Headley has 6 home runs and 19 runs batted in against the Dodgers. Two and 1. It was 5 years ago that Headley got a lot of attention. He won the Texas League batting title, and he won it by 21 points. Everybody sat up and took notice. 2-2. A couple of years ago, Headley trimmed down. He lost nearly 20 pounds. He's a big man right now, about 200 to 210. 2-2, 1 out, 2 on. Cabrera taking that big lead. Foul ball. Headley signed a 1-year deal in January, avoiding arbitration. 2-2 the count to Chase Headley. 2 on, 1 out, 9th inning, 4-3 Padres. Check on strike 3 call. So Headley fooled on that pitch. Didn't know whether to fish or cut bait, as they say. Held back, punched out. So 2 down. That was a big out to get Headley. And now the batter is Carlos Quinton, and immediately another meeting. League, of course, is not that aware of all of the hitters since he just came over. Ramirez would like to know the pitch. Quinton grounded to third, fouled out, grounded out, and had a sacrifice fly ball to drive in what is now the difference in the game. Carlos from Bellflower and Chula Vista. Up there with 2 on, 2 out, 4-3 Padres. And there goes Cabrera. They're going to throw down to second, and it's high. And so the Padres pull off the double steal. So Cabrera steals third. Venable steals second. Boy, they can really run, and they do it again. One ball and no strikes. Little ground ball to the right side, though that's a huge out, and the Dodgers get off the hook. However, they're still on the hook as far as the score. We're heading to the bottom of the 9th, 4-3 San Diego. Turns out to be the difference in the game. Matt Kemp hits a drive to center. Looks like a home run with everybody except Cameron Maben, who takes it away from him. Otherwise, it would have been a 2-run home run, and the Dodgers would be leading instead of losing. Andy Perino will come in and take over at second base for Amarista. So Perino entering the game with the pitcher Luke Gregerson. Amarista has moved out to left field to take over for Carlos Quinton. Third time in the series, Amarista has wound up in left field. So Luke Gregerson out of Park Ridge, Illinois, 6'3", 200. For several years, he was the hold man, the setup man. Now he's been asked to be a closer. Of course, he's asked to be the closer because Houston Street is on the disabled list. And Gregerson, remember, gave up the home run in the 9th inning to Andre Ethier that forced the game to go 11. and the Dodgers won that one 4-3. So Street is the spectator, and Adam Kennedy, ball one. Kennedy got into the game in a double switch, grounded out, 0 for 1. Kennedy, Ellis, Victorino. 1 ball and no strikes. And ball 2. In looking at Gregerson's important numbers, 17 walks, 64 strikeouts, so better than 3-1. Breaking ball strike. And the other in 63 innings, 50 hits. Gregerson's earned run average 2.4. 4-3 San Diego, not only trying to beat the Dodgers the 6th time in 15 meetings, but 4 of the last 5. Fouled away. 2-2. So the Dodgers saw the Giants lose last night, but they had already lost. Now the Dodgers fully aware that the Giants had lost, but they're losing in the 9th, 4-3. Gregerson came to the Padres in the deal that sent Khalil Green to St. Louis. Big ground ball, knocked down, fielded, and the out. So Yonder Alonso moves nicely to make the out on Kennedy, 1 away.
Down for second baseman, Mark Ellis.
Mark Ellis coming up. Fly deep to left. Alonso caught it up against the wall in the first inning. Since then, singled and a couple of ground balls. Mark Ellis 0 for 1 against Gregerson. That's a strike. Oh, and 2. Gregerson's numbers, when you look at him, he's a totally different pitcher on the road as he is at home. At home in Petco, spacious Petco, earned run average of 1.2, no home runs allowed. On the road, an ERA over 4 with 7 home runs. Good little pop fly for the second out to Perino. So the Dodger attack has just stopped dead. Ramirez singled in the 5th inning, and that's the last base hit they've had. That single drove in a run, and at the time, it tied up the ball game. But they have done absolutely nothing since. In fact, since the single by Ramirez, they've only had 1 base runner. That was a walk to Gonzalez in the 7th inning. So here's Victorino with his foot in the door, trying to keep it alive, and it's a strike. Victorino against Gregerson. 1 for 4. Cruz, of course, came out in a double switch, so he's a spectator. And the Dodgers are down to their last strike with Adrian Gonzalez on deck. A bitter pill for Don Mattingly to swallow indeed. And did that hit him? It did. He's awarded first base. So a glimmer of hope for the Dodgers as Victorino hit by the pitch. And here comes the former Padre, Adrian Gonzalez. Bud Black is going to go out and talk to his pitcher. Adrian Gonzalez struck out in the 1st inning, singled to right field to drive in Mark Ellis in the 3rd inning, singled to center to send Victorino to second in the 5th inning, and then last time up walked. So Adrian is 2 for 3, hitting .265 as a Dodger with a home run and 10 runs batted in. So Gregerson is coming out. They'll go to the pen, and we'll be back. He's out of St. Louis. We saw him yesterday, and the Dodgers were hoping they wouldn't see him again. He struck out the side in the 10th inning yesterday, getting Gonzalez, Kemp, and Ramirez in that order. The left-handers are 1 for 19 against him, and the only hit was by Gonzalez. We saw Lane in the 8th inning of Game 2. That's when Gonzalez got a single to center. So what are left-handers batting against Thomas Lane? They're hitting about a half a buck, 1 for 19. Lane was originally drafted by the Diamondbacks out of Mount Olive College in North Carolina. Basically a sinking fastball, a cut fastball, curveball, and a change. So Adrian Gonzalez, 2 out. Victorino at first, the tying run. 4-3 Padres. Ball 1. That was 92. Lane is 6'3", about 180 pounds, though very much on the lean side. And the sinker is in there. 1-1. One and 1. Breaking ball off the plate. That was the curve. Waiting on deck, Matt Kemp. Lane in his 15th game has an earned run average of 1.8. That's down and dirty. Ball 3. A right-hander, Corey Burns, is throwing in the bullpen should Matt Kemp be coming out. 3-1 to Adrian Gonzalez. Fastball fouled away. That was 91. So he's thrown him one curveball, and the count 3-2. Richards, Vincent, Boxberger, Thatcher, Thayer, Gregerson, and Lane. 7 pitchers used by the Padres. Victorino, the tying run at first, and a foul ball. I was watching Yonder Alonso. I didn't know what he was doing there. Alonso held his hands high in the air. I'm not sure if he was telling Lane he was not going to hold Victorino. For a moment, it almost looked like he was asking for time. Well, he's deep to cover Gonzalez. They're not worrying about Victorino, even though he was going on that pitch. So 3-2. There you go. Foul back again. So the Dodgers right down to the wire. Down 4-3. Dodgers, who had done so well in one-run games, they're 25-21. Full count. Victorino ready to take off. There he goes. And there's a one-hopper knocked down by Perino to throw him out. It almost knocked Perino down. So Andy Perino blocks it with his body. Adrian Gonzalez grounds out, and the Dodgers lose yet another tough ball game. 4-3. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Padres. 3 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. The Dodgers remain 4.5 games behind the Giants, but remember, in the wild card race, Atlanta won, and the Dodgers are 2.5 games behind Atlanta in the wild card. So they are hurting in both areas. Well, next stop, San Francisco, Friday night. It'll be Josh Beckett and Tim Lincecum. Stay tuned for Dodgers Live coming up next. Good night, everybody.